Hello and welcome everyone. I am Ayazafar and today we are diving into a crucial aspect of Angular 17. If you are an Angular enthusiast or developer looking to sharpen your skills, you are in the right place. In this tutorial, we are going to unravel the mysteries of the ngOnDestroy lifecycle hook in Angular 17. For those new to Angular, ngOnDestroy is key player in managing the life cycle of components, and it's essential for ensuring efficient memory management in your application. Why is ngOnDestroy so important? Well, it helps in clearing a component when it is no longer needed. Think of it as the cleanup crew of your Angular app, preventing memory leaks and ensuring your app runs smoothly. We will go through everything from basics to some real-world use cases, demonstrating how ngOnDestroy can be used effectively in your projects. I will provide code snippets, explain them in detail, and show you how to solve common problems with practical examples. Let's begin by exploring the lifecycle of an Angular component. Every component in Angular goes through a series of phases from creation of destruction. These phases are managed through lifecycle hooks, which are specific functions that Angular calls at particular stages. These hooks include ngOnInit, which is called when a component is initialized, ngOnChanges, which is called when bound input properties change, and others. But today our star player is ngOnDestroy. It's the hook that Angular calls just before destroying a component. Now, where does ngOnDestroy fit into all this? Well, it is essentially the last call for a component. When a component is no longer needed, Angular disposes of it to free up resources. And ngOnDestroy is your opportunity to perform any custom cleanup before the component is finally destroyed. Let's take a look at the basic implementation. Imagine we have a component that subscribes to the data service. Subscriptions like these can lead to memory leaks if not handled properly. So this is where ngOnDestroy comes into play. Let me quickly generate a service. ngGenerate service data service. Okay. Now here I will define a function, a simple function, get data. And this would return, actually before that I need to inject a service, http. I am using inject function to inject this service, http client. Now I will use it, this.http, and I will return the response of this function. That would be an observable. Now go to the ts file. Also make sure that http client module is imported before using it. So I will add the http client module here in my app component, that is standalone component. So now here I will define a property subscription, and the type would be subscription as well, and this is an optional. Now in here I will define a constructor, and that in that constructor I will call the get data function that we have in the data service. But before that we need to inject that service first. So for that I will define a property, private data service is equal to inject function would be used to inject that service, and I will pass that data service class to it. Now in the constructor I will save the response of the this.dataService.get data into the this.subscription, and I will also subscribe to it. Okay. Now I will implement the onDestroy lifecycle hook. Make sure to import this onDestroy class from the Angular core, and now here I will implement it. So I will simply unsubscribe to this subscription. So this will prevent the memory leak. So in this example we implement the ngOnDestroy method. Notice how we unsubscribe from the data service in the ngOnDestroy method. This is crucial for preventing memory leaks as it releases resources that are no longer needed. Releasing resources like subscriptions, detaching event handlers, or stopping timers is vital for maintaining the performance of your Angular applications. Without proper cleanup in ngOnDestroy, your app could suffer from sluggish performance and even crashes. So to sum up, ngOnDestroy plays a pivotal role in resource management. It's your last stop for cleanup and ensures that your components bow out gracefully, leaving no memory leaks and or performance issues behind. Okay. Now that we understand the basics of ngOnDestroy, let's dive into some real-world scenarios where it becomes indispensable. We will explore these common use cases like unsubscribing from observables, detaching event listeners, and implementing custom cleanup logic. First up, let's talk about observables. In Angular, observables are widely used for handling asynchronous data streams, but there is a catch. If you subscribe to an observable and forget to unsubscribe, it can lead to memory leaks. Let's see how ngDestroy can be used to prevent this. Imagine we have a component that subscribes to a user data stream. Like here we have already implemented the example. So in this example, we subscribe to a user data service. So we are using the data service, but in the user case, it would be the user service. So to prevent memory leaks, we need to unsubscribe in the ngOnDestroy like we did here. This ensures that when the component is destroyed, the subscription is also terminated and freeing up the resources. Next, let's talk about event listener. Adding event listener to the elements is common, but not removing them can cause memory leaks and performance issues. So this is how you can use ngOnDestroy to detach event listeners. So let me remove all of the unnecessary code here that we don't need now anymore. Okay. So in the constructor, first of all, I will inject. Actually, we don't need the constructor to inject. I can simply use the inject function to do that. So I will define a private el, type would be element ref, and is equal to inject element ref. Okay. So I injected the element reference. Next, I will inject the renderer to class service. Okay, now I will define a function on click. Okay, and here we will handle the logic for the click event. And here in the ngOnDestroy, I will detach the event listener. So I will use this dot el dot native element dot remove event listener. Okay, so in this example, we attach a click event to a button. In ngOnDestroy, we ensure to remove the event listener. This is crucial to prevent any residual event listeners from hanging around after component is destroyed. Finally, let's discuss custom cleanup logic. There are times when you need to do more than just unsubscribe from observables or detach the event listener. One such scenario is disconnecting from a WebSocket. So this is how you might handle such case. So let's suppose you have a service. Let me actually remove everything that we don't need here anymore. Okay. Now I will generate a service just to demonstrate, and you generate as WebSocket service. Okay. Now here I will define a function connect return. Okay. So it can be anything. I'm just giving you an example. So here for now I will make a dummy observable just to demonstrate. So because it can have any kind of logic that you will have in your own project, so I will just return an off actually. Okay, so something like that. Actually it will have different logic in it. I will also have a disconnect function. Okay, now in the app component I will inject the WebSocket service. Okay, make sure to import the service. Now inside the constructor, I will subscribe to that this .websocket .service .connect, and I will use .subscribe here. Okay, and I will assign the data to socket data property that I will define now. Okay, now in the ngOnDestroy, I will disconnect the WebSocket by calling the function that I have defined in my WebSocket service to disconnect the WebSocket. Okay, so in this simple example, our component connects to a WebSocket service. It's essential to disconnect from the WebSocket in the ngOnDestroy to prevent any unwanted network activity and potential memory leaks. So there you have it. three practical scenarios where ngOnDestroy plays a crucial role. By correctly implementing ngOnDestroy, you can ensure your Angular applications are efficient, robust, and free of memory leaks. Having explored how ngOnDestroy works in real-world scenarios, let's now focus on the best practices for implementing it in Angular 17. These guidelines will help you to use ngOnDestroy effectively and avoid common pitfalls. First and foremost, always remember to unsubscribe from observable and event listeners in ngOnDestroy. This is non-negotiable. It is the key to preventing memory leaks and other resource-related issues. Next best practice is to use take-until function for multiple subscriptions. When dealing with the multiple subscriptions, consider using the RxJS take-until operator. This can make your code cleaner and more manageable, especially when unsubscribing from several observables in ngOnDestroy. Next best practice is testing cleanup logic. Another critical aspect is testing your cleanup logic. Ensure that your ngOnDestroy method does what it's supposed to do. Use Angular's testing framework to verify that subscriptions are correctly terminated and resources are freed. Next, we will talk about the common mistakes that you may face. You may forget to implement ngOnDestroy. A common mistake is simply forgetting to implement ngOnDestroy, especially in components with subscriptions. So remember, Angular doesn't remind you to clean up, it's your responsibility. Next mistake is the incomplete cleanup. Another issue is incomplete cleanup. So it is not just about unsubscribing from observables. You also need to detach event listeners, cancel HTTP requests, or handle any other custom cleanup required for your component. Next mistake you may face is not testing ngOnDestroy. Lastly, not testing ngOnDestroy can lead to hidden bugs. Just because your app seems to work fine doesn't mean there are not memory leaks. Regularly test your components' destruction phases to ensure they are free of the issues. To sum up, implementing ngOnDestroy correctly is crucial for the health and performance of your Angular applications. By following these best practices and avoiding common mistakes, you can ensure your components are both efficient and reliable. As we dive deeper into ngOnDestroy, let's discuss some advanced tips that can elevate your Angular applications. Understanding these nuances will help you optimize performance and make the most of Angular's lifecycle hooks. Firstly, let's talk about performance. ngOnDestroy plays a crucial role in maintaining your application's performance. By ensuring proper cleanup of subscriptions and listeners, you prevent memory leaks and unnecessary CPU usage, which can significantly slow down your app. Efficient resource management in ngOnDestroy is crucial. For example, if you are using third-party libraries or services, make sure they are also properly disposed of. This can have substantial impact on responsiveness and speed of your application. Now let's consider how ngOnDestroy interacts with other lifecycle hooks. For instance, you might set up an observable in ngOnInit and tear it down in ngOnDestroy. This synergy ensures that your component is only consuming resources when it needs to, contributing to a leaner and more efficient application. Imagine a component that starts a timer on ngOnInit and needs it to clear it in ngOnDestroy to avoid memory leaks. This demonstrates the importance of coordinating between lifecycle hooks to manage resources effectively. In summary, ngOnDestroy is more than just a cleanup function. It's a part of broader strategy for an efficient resource management in Angular applications. By understanding and utilizing its relationship with other lifecycle hooks, you can significantly enhance your app's performance and reliability. Thank you for staying with me throughout this tutorial. We have covered a lot today about ngOnDestroy lifecycle hook in Angular 17. From its basic usage and real-world applications to best practices and performance considerations, we have delved deep into the how to make your Angular applications more efficient and robust. Now it's your turn to put this knowledge into action. I encourage you to experiment with ngOnDestroy in your own projects. So see how it helps manage resources and improves performance. Your feedback is invaluable, so please don't hesitate to share your experiences in the comments below. If you found this tutorial helpful, then please give it a like and consider subscribing for more Angular content. Your support motivates me to create more tutorials like this. Also, feel free to suggest topics for future videos. Thank you again for watching. Keep an eye out for follow-up videos where we will explore more Angular features and tackle other advanced topics. Until next time, happy coding and goodbye.